Everyone in position just a little bit too early, but now we can go. Russia kicking us off from left to right in that red strip with white trim. Here's Makarov, who got that hat-trick a couple of days ago in this fixture. Mentioned that these two sides have met 5 times in the tournament over the years. Oh, Shushkov, it's a penalty! Penalty! What a start! Literally in the first 15 seconds, Shushkov gets booked. Let's have a look here what happened. Yeah, he was late, Shushkov, wasn't he? He had the ball nicked away from him by Mohamed Muradi. So the referee looks to me, at least, as though he's got that one right. So Maxim Shushkov in the book in 15 seconds. And Russia opting to bring Maxim Rogovsky on to try and save this penalty. Late replacement in the squad for Ivan Ostrovsky. Minimal game time so far in the tournament for him. And he's up against Mohamed Muradi. Muradi, the man who was brought down. Oh, he's blazed it over the top. Unbelievable. What a start to this match. Well, he just tried to burst the net, didn't he? Rogovsky dived to his right, celebrated, and seems to have injured his arm in doing so. Anyway, Shushkov back on the pitch now, and tangling again with Mohamed Muradi, and this time the foul goes the other way. Well, Shushkov can afford to smile now. I think he just had a word with Muradi and said, well, in my opinion, justice was done. But I have to say, from my perspective, not Shushkov's perspective, I thought that was a fair enough decision. The penalty going Iran's way. The fact that they weren't able to take advantage of it by finding the back of the net is their own fault. Free kick then to Russia. And Shushkov has actually put that into Dubai Canal. It's gone out of the stadium and into the water. So 5 times these two sides have met in this tournament over the years. They met in the group stages in 2013. Iran won that one on penalties, 3-2, after it finished 2-2 in extra time. Then they played in the final as well, and Iran won that one as well, 4-3. Dmitry Shishin, who's not here this year for Russia, actually missed a penalty in the last few seconds to take that match into extra time. So Iran starting nicely against Russia in the history of the Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. Russia got some semblance of revenge in the semi-final of 2014. And they beat Iran 4-3. They were 4-0 up actually in that match in 28 minutes. Iran battled back but couldn't quite do enough to draw level as Russia wait for some players to be rotated on and off. Muradi finds Ahmed Zadai. The overheads are his stock in trade. That was just off target. 2015 these two sides met in the semi-finals as well. Shot from Vladislav Aksenov, which was blocked. There he is, Aksenov. Only his second match of the tournament, didn't feature against Mexico, Paraguay or Portugal. Made his debut back in 2009. One of the players in this squad who features for the Crystal Beach soccer side, based in St. Petersburg. Yeah, Russia won in 2015 semi-final 4-1. Then, of course, we beat Iran 4-3 after extra time a couple of days ago. I've missed an encounter out between these sides, actually. 2016 they met last year when Iran actually won 3-1 on penalties after it finished 3-3 in extra time. So there's a history for these sides to actually go the distance and beyond.
Okay, I need 4 players. Okay, well, wait a second. I'm only going to choose players to the noise against the fans in the house. Okay? How about Russian fans? Make some noise!
So unless my maths very much fails me, these two sides have met 6 times in this tournament, and it's 3-3.
I need 2 from Russia and 2 from Iran.
Arthur Paparotny
How about the fans from Iran?
blocked by Amir Akbari.
Yeah, I need 2 players. 2
Across the face of goal by Abdullahi. And a diving header from Muradi.
Okay, 1.
Somehow it's gone the wrong side of the post.
1 female. 1 male.
Anton Skarin, the Russian captain. Paparotny, his predecessor as Russian captain, is actually on the bench today. Ilya Leonev.
1 and 2.
Paparotny's shot blocked by Abdullahi. Akbari rampaging forward.
Okay, now, I need 2 plays now. Who wants to play a game? 1 girl and 1 boy. Okay.
As I said, Leonev, former Russian captain, 2-time World Cup winner, is on the bench. He was for the national anthems. He's now switched to behind Maxim Shushkov's goal, where he's standing.
Now, sit down. I need runnouts. Has to be Russian.
Always very little to choose between these two teams in their battles over the years. They also met in the World Cup in Tahiti in 2013, quarter-finals, when Russia went on to retain the title that they'd won originally in 2011 in Italy. And they finished 6-5 there. That's a good run. Not a good finish, though, from Moslem Messigar. Messigar, who was suspended for yesterday's semi-final against Brazil, having been booked against Mexico and in the final group game against Russia. Peyman Hosseini bowls it forward. Farid Bulukbashi, that came off Kirill Romanov. So that's going to be a corner. Stand below our commentary position. Bulukbashi attempting the scissor kick. Akbari was in the mix at the back post. Halfway through the first period, still no goals. Yuri Krasheninnikov. And it'll be a foul. Bulukbashi will have the benefit of a free kick. Nice little kick from Alexei Makarov in the mid-rift. Makarov absolutely ran the show in the meeting between these two sides a couple of nights ago. Hat-trick in the first period, 2 goals with his right foot, 1 with his left. And he seemed to be on the sand and all over the sand. Bulukbashi then. Only his second game of the tournament, didn't feature against Mexico in the previous match against Russia or in the semi-final against Brazil. Very experienced, 34 years of age. 3 goals in this tournament last year. On the near side, Ali Mishikari, youngest player in the squad at just 20. Moslim Messigar overcooks the cross. Off the line. Mishikari in the right place at the right time. Again, Russia looking to make multiple substitutions. Players allowed to be rotated on and off at any time throughout the course of a match. Here's Akbari, cuts inside away from Makarov. Makarov gets the block in with his back then. Shushkov bowls to Krasheninnikov. Makarov's back from here. It's absolutely caked in sweat already. Very little breeze. There's no breeze at all to speak of at pitch level, so it's still pretty warm, even though we're into November and the winter very much upon us. And Makarov just dragging that shot across the face of goal. Daytime temperatures around the time that the action started today in the low 30s, around 31 degrees. It's a bit cooler since then. The Russian fans are the ones making the noise at the moment. Akbari down the line to Bulukbashi. Romanov with the little flick. Bowled long to no one in particular by Shushkov, and that allows Russia to rotate their players on and off. Boris Nikonarov trying to close down Peyman Hosseini. Hassan Abdullahi, whose own goal decided this match a couple of nights ago. Six previous editions of this tournament. Between them, these two sides have won 4 of them. Russia in 2011 and 2012, as well as 2015. And Iran in 2013. Brazil, the other 2 successes, in 2014 and 16. Brazil opting not to defend their title actually in 2015. They didn't come here. Argentina were the representatives from the South American continent. Muradi, not for the first time, putting the ball over the bar. Did the same with his penalty after 15 seconds, of course. And that's the closest we've come to a goal thus far. Paparotny, back to his keeper. Paparotny with the shot, but oh goodness me. It was hurried and way off target. Abdullahi closed down by Nikonarov. Oh, and Hosseini couldn't keep that in play. You can see Marco Octavio on the bench, not exactly impressed, the Iranian coach, by that. Just inviting pressure on themselves here, aren't they? Corner's going to be taken by Anton Skarin, oldest player in the squad at 34. And that was an opportunity. Vladislav Aksenov had a clear header, but he couldn't direct it goalwards. Hosseini looking for Ahmed Zadai, but with the attentions of Paparotny, that simply wasn't possible. Well, we've only had 6 goals today, and this is the 3rd match of the day. Quite astonishing, really, when you think that we actually had 47 goals on day 3. It's the most ever by on a single day in the history of this tournament. So we go from feast to famine, it would appear. Very unusual to get 3 games in a row with so few goals. On average, 8 goals a game in beach soccer. Makarov, can he change the complexion of things? Not with shooting like that. Inside the last 15 seconds. Krasheninnikov finds Krishanov. Cross the face of goal from him. Nikolai Krishanov, his attempt on goal, the last action of the first period, and it's as you were in this 3rd and 4th place playoff. Iran should be in the lead. They had a penalty after just 15 seconds, but Mohamed Moradi blasted it over the crossbar, and that is the closest we've come to breaking the deadlock. Iran and Russia then 3 wins apiece in the history of this tournament. Who's going to get victory number 4? At the moment we don't know. 1 period gone. Russia 0, Iran 0. Handshakes all round before we got underway, and very soon we had Maxim Shushkov bringing down Mohamed Moradi, and all Moradi could do is blaze the ball over the top. Shushkov earning a booking for that challenge, and then perhaps Moradi should have scored there at the back post. Diving header, but couldn't direct it goalwards. Awkward for him because the ball just kicked up at the last minute. That was off the line by Mishikari. Not quite where he intended to put it, but thankfully from his perspective it avoided the goal. And that was the action right at the very end of that first period. No goals then, and we hope for better in period number 2.
Ready? 5, 4, go! All right. Come on, last man standing. Last man standing. Oh! We got 2 more left. 2 guys left. 2 guys left. And we got a winner! Yeah! God bless my ears. That was okay. I got fast reflexes. That's okay. Because of that, no applause. I'm taking no applause. Okay. Congratulations. Congratulations. What's your name? What's that up? Okay. What's your spot? You're from? And what do you want to tell all the Patriots watching? Thanks for all your attention. Thanks for the support of our team. Thank you. Congratulations. Here's your prize. It's a Robert and Robot Boy. Thank you to our sports council. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Goodbye. Okay. I didn't say anything. He knew what he was supposed to say. So, you hit my ears, so we can deal now. You split the part away. I'm pretty crazy. I got a question on my ears. What do you want?
Iran are going to get us underway then in the second period. And the shot driven in, it's off the post. What a start. Iran could have scored at the beginning of the first period, and they almost scored at the beginning of the second. Farid Bulikbashi. There's been a change in the Russian goal with Rogovsky coming in, and his first action was to dive but not get anywhere near that shot from Bulikbashi. He was ringing his right elbow again as well, Rogovsky. We saw him do that when he dived to try and save Moradi's penalty a bit earlier. Well, once again, Iran coming very, very close to opening the scoring, but close isn't good enough at the moment. Mokhtari. Sorry, Messigar, I should say, there on the ball. Mokhtari's not playing today. Mokhtari and Ali Nazim, the two players left out of the 12-man squad. Oh, just wide from Amir Akbari. Done a double take, actually. There's been a change in goal for Russia. Oh, good save. Brilliant by Peyman Hosseini. Tremendous flick header from Aksenov, and Peyman Hosseini at full stretch pushes it round the post. As Russia now have Maxim Shushkov back in goal. Just going to have to keep our eye on that elbow issue for Rogovski. Krasheninnikov, he lost his footing. And Messigar couldn't quite get the momentum to get away from Makarov and Krasheninnikov. Mustafa Kayani got a hat-trick yesterday against Brazil. Here he is again, the number 4. Did actually feature in the previous match between these two sides in this year's tournament. Nikolai Khrushchanov. The overhead from Romanov. Hosseini right on the edge of his area. Kayani. Next up, remember, it's the final. Brazil, champions in 2014 and 2016 against Portugal. First time finalists they'll be. Good work from Shushkov, coming out and claiming the ball under pressure. Awkward bounce there for Romanov. Nothing he could do about that. Makarov. It's a stock in trade, cutting inside off either wing and firing in a shot, but that shot was not a good one. Good save from Shushkov as his near post to deny Mustafa Kayani. It's all a bit subdued at the moment, even subdued up in the stands. The Iranian drummer is doing his best to get things going, but we're just short of a goal here, as we have been for most of the day, if truth be told. What's the referee going to do here? Calling Akbari and Nikonarov to him and saying, no more argy-bargy, please. So that's going to have to be retaken. Krasheninnikov's opting for a kick-in. Goes towards the back post to Paparotny. Yes, it's in! Beautifully worked by Russia. Krasheninnikov picked out Paparotny, who wasn't picked up by the Iranian defenders. Paparotny's cross-come shot was followed up by Nikonarov, and it was nothing more than a tap-in for him. Paparotny getting the Russian fans up on their feet, urging them to make more noise. And Boris Nikonarov pops up with his 4th goal of this Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup 2017. He got 6 goals last year. He was the joint top scorer 12 months ago with Alexei Makarov. So So double figures for Nikonorov in the history of this Intercontinental Cup. And Russia hit the front. Just what the game needed. It needed a goal. And now we've got it. What's Iran's response going to be, I wonder? They've never been prolific goal scorers, Iran. That said, they're fourth most prolific scorers in the history of this competition since making their debut back in 2013. So this is their 5th edition. 85 goals for them. The only teams ahead of them are the UAE with 111, Brazil with 173, and Russia now with 177. To illustrate the point that I was making about Iran not being prolific scorers, when they won the tournament in 2013, they only scored 19 goals in their 5 matches. In fact, the following year, when they finished 4th, they only got 12. 2015, they got 15 goals, and 2016 last year was their most impressive effort in front of goal so far, 23. This year so far, just 16. Hosseini gathers that one on his line. Had a few issues with back passes have Iran in this tournament thus far. Yesterday, Felipe nicked in with a short back pass and managed to score, and then who can forget Amir Akbari's own goal earlier in the tournament, where he lobbed his own keeper. It was against Mexico. Was that off Kirill Romanov's hand? Well, the referee said no, but it certainly knocked the wind out of him. Russian fans looking a little bit tense there. Iran going to make a change in goal. Hamid Bezadpour coming in place of Peyman Hosseini. Good defensive work from Abdullahi. In fact, he'll get a free kick for the challenge as he attempted the diving header. Nikolai Krishanov testing to the official, but no change for him. Let's have a look here. Krishanov saying, look, I was just trying to play the ball. Krishanov didn't play yesterday against Portugal in the semi-final. He was banned after picking up a booking against Iran a couple of days ago, and that followed on from a booking against Paraguay. So Abdullahi, who scored the winner in this fixture 2 days ago, albeit at the wrong end, has a free kick from about 28 metres. Ahmed Zadai not able to take advantage of the loose ball. Krasheninnikov racing forward. Krishanov on the spin. Gets no real power behind his shot. Shot from Bezadpour, yes! 1-1. Oh, that's nicely done, isn't it? He wasn't closed down, Hamid Bezadpour. And look, have I told you so on the bench from Marco Octavio. Well, the change of goalkeeper certainly works for Iran. Hamid Bezadpour, he actually got a couple of goals in the World Cup qualifier earlier this year in Malaysia. And he's brought his side back on level terms. We're all locked up at 1 apiece with just over 4 minutes to go in the second period. Illustrates again the importance of the goalkeeper in beach soccer, not just as a shot stopper, a goal saver, a goal creator, and even a goal scorer. Goalkeepers have been quite prolific in this tournament this year. The Huawei Beach Soccer Cup. Peyman Hosseini scored, so that's the second Iranian goalkeeper who's found the mark. Maxim Shushkov, he scored as well. Ellington Andrade, so 4 goalkeepers have been among the 135 goals that we've seen. Shushkov finds Paparotny. Nice control from him. Very nicely done with the left thigh. Shot was off target though. Here's a chance. Yes, it's in. Iran take the lead. It's Ahmed Zadai, the captain, on the mark. He's been very quiet yesterday and for much of today so far, which is unusual for him. But he took full advantage of that loose ball, and even though Shushkov got part of his body behind it, he couldn't keep it out. It was good work on the left-hand side by Mohamed Moradi that created the chance, and Ahmed Zadai popped up for his 5th goal of the tournament. That takes him now up to 29 in the history of the Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. From being 1-0 down, they're 2-1 up. So, Mohamed Ahmed Zadai now level with Dmitry Shishin, the Russian who's not here this year, on 29 goals, and the only players ahead of that duo, Bruno Xavier, who we'll see next, on 36, and Dejan Stankovic, the Swiss bomber, with 37. We select group that at the top of the hit parade. Paparotny has got a little bit of time to line up a shot. It was blocked by Ahmed Zadai. Abdullahi short with the back pass, and the Russians absolutely furious, thinking that Skarin was brought down as he tried to latch onto that ball.
Also, to all the fans, don't forget, we're giving away a lot of soccer balls later. We're going to throw them away.
Kick in from Paparotny with just less than 90 seconds remaining.
Well, don't leave because we've got a raffle draw coming up. So keep your raffles coming later. Put it on behind you.
Skarin, Konarov, attempted overhead from him, just a minute to go. Paparotny, he's got Krasheninnikov down the line. Little give and go from Paparotny, but Krasheninnikov didn't keep it in play. Iranian fans, Iranian drummers have certainly found their mojo now. Shushkov. Paparotny. Oh, and Bezatpur saw it late. Did well in the end, as did Paparotny to get that interception. And that's the end of period number 2, a period that's seen 3 goals. And Russia taking the lead through Boris Nikonorov, but Iran hitting back through Hamid Bezatpur, one of their goalkeepers, and then Mohammad Ahmedzadeh, their captain. So in the 3rd and 4th place playoff, it's 2-1 to Iran. That was straight from the restart at the beginning of the 2nd period. Farid Bulukbashi hitting the post. Overhead from Romanov, just off target. And there was Nikonorov's goal. Beautifully worked that by the Russians. Krasheninnikov all the way across to no one who'd picked up Paparotny, and then a tap in for Nikonorov. 4th goal for him this year. And there's the equaliser. Bezatpur had just come on in place of Peyman Hosseini, and that was unstoppable. Wasn't closed down, and he made Russia pay the price. 1-1. Akbari with that overhead, and then this is the goal that separates the sides. Good effort on the turn from Ahmedzadeh, latching onto the cross from Mohammad Moradi. Iran in charge, but only just, with 1 period still remaining.
Thank you very much. Go on with these other answers, ladies and gentlemen. All right. First thing is Danny. Stay in the building. Okay, there we go. They're giving us the balls. So to all of our fans, if you want to get more of those, do not leave after this match, because we're giving away a lot of prizes soon. Close the raffle later on.
Getting ready then for the final period in this 3rd and 4th place playoff. Iran in the white strip, they're the ones leading, 2-1. They're going to be playing from right to left on your screens. And it's, well, a crucial time for Russia this, because they've never finished outside the top 3 in this tournament. 3 times winners in 2011, 12 and 15. Twice runners-up in 2013 and 14. And once they finished 3rd. That was last year, when they beat Tahiti 4-3 in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. So if they do end up going down as low as 4th, that will be unaccustomed territory for them. This is Iran's 5th edition of the Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. Once a winner in 2013. Once a runner-up last year, 12 months ago, when they lost out 6-2 in the final to Brazil. Once they finished 3rd in 2015, and once 4th in 2014. So pretty proud records both these sides have got in the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. Iran have got a free kick inside their penalty area. It's about maybe 28, 29 metres from goal. This is where we saw Datina score against Iran yesterday. What a spectacular strike that was. Muslim Messigar, well, not quite sure what he was attempting there, but whatever it was, it didn't work. Well done by Paparotny. He's kept it in play, but Shushkov then had to be very quick indeed to deny Akbari, and there was a little bit of afters from Akbari as well, and the referees called him to him. Bulakbashi making a point to the official. I'm not quite sure why Akbari had to be involved there. I'm not quite sure. He's conceded the free kick. Something then made Marco Octavio absolutely furious down below us, and he stormed off the bench. So tensions are high, I can promise you that. Shushkov with a free kick then. About a metre inside the penalty area, and he hit that really well. Bezadpur, who's continued in goal for this third and final period in place of Peyman Hosseini, and that's good work from Krasheninnikov. He had to get the flick header on that to get it away from Muslim Messigar. Messigar then going all the way back to Bezadpur. Akbari exchanging passes with his keeper. A little bit short, Bezadpur, and then that's a foul, is it? Yes, it is. Mustafa Kayani. And Marco Octavio saying, why on earth didn't you pick the ball up in the first place and then play around with it to his goalkeeper? Because he's played his side into trouble. Nikolai Krishanov. He's got a twin brother, Victor, who's played for the national side, but he's not here. And you can see Marco Octavio is so furious with Bezadpur that he's decided to substitute him. And as Bezadpur goes for a sit down, Marco Octavio gives him a piece of his mind. What were you doing, he said. What were you doing? They've conceded a free kick, Iran. And Krishanov now, who scored one goal against Mexico earlier in the competition. It's an opportunity to draw Russia level, but not with finishing like that. Dear me. Stuffed his shot and dragged it well wide of Peyman Hosseini's right hand upright. 10 minutes to go then, and Russia get back on level terms. That's a poor ball from Shushkov, and he knows it. Clears Makarov's head quite comfortably. Bowled long by Hosseini. Messigar can't keep it in play. Makarov. Krasheninnikov. Paparovny. Turning into trouble, robbed by Bulakbashi, who in turn robs Bulakbashi back. Makarov. Oh, that's a special area for Makarov. Able to get that left foot firing. Good save from Hosseini, then Makarov goes down. That's going to be a booking for Akbari. Akbari frustrated, but Makarov, having had the initial shot, was then trying to burst onto the loose ball. Not quite sure what the Iranians are protesting about to the officials. Abdullahi's hanging round. And Akbari gets shown the yellow card. No need for that at all. Quite sure what he was trying to achieve, other than to stop Makarov in his tracks. He's conceded a free kick and it's in a dangerous position, reasonably central, and probably about 15 metres from Peyman Hosseini's goal. Makarov already has shown his prowess from distance during the course of this tournament. Dead ball situation for him now, and can he bring Russia level? Good save, Hosseini. The little man stood tall, and then Russia conceding a free kick. Mohamed Moradi is down. Peyman Hosseini did really well here. There's Makarov battling for the ball. Did he make contact with Moradi? Yes, there. Moradi took time to go down, but there was definite impact from Alexei Makarov's right foot. We just saw a moment ago confirmation of Amir Akbari's booking. Moradi's certainly had an interesting match so far, hasn't he? Missing that penalty within the first 15 seconds. So the free kick is a metre or so outside the Iranian penalty area. The depth of the penalty area is 9 metres, the length of a beach soccer pitch roughly 36 metres. So I reckon this is about 25-26 metres from Maxim Shushkov's goal. Oh, it's in! Oh, redemption for Moradi. Shushkov can't believe it. He missed the penalty earlier. He hasn't missed that free kick. It's bobbled through Shushkov's dive. The Iranian fans are ecstatic, and Iran have some breathing space. Shushkov a little bit slow to go down. And he pays the ultimate price. That small amount of lethargy. Shame we didn't see him there at the end as he was prone on the ground, because he just put his head in his hands. He couldn't believe he'd let that one in, but he has. And Mohamed Moradi has extended Iran's advantage. It's his first goal of this Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup 2017. He's on the ball again now, and he's got a flailing left arm, and he gets a booking. Well, his entertaining evening goes on, doesn't it?
Okay, once again, to all the fans, couple of reminders.
Guilty of pushing Aksenov in the face. There you can see.
Because we have a grand raffle during the championship match. And everyone has a chance to win. Really
So, free kick to Russia. About 3 or 4 metres outside their penalty area. So 3 bookings in the match thus far. Maxim Shushkov for Russia, Amir Akbari, and now Mohamed Moradi for Iran. There's confirmation on your screen.
How about fans of the beautiful country of the United Arab Emirates?
It was on target from Aksenov. Improvised save from Hosseini. He's done well there. Got the ball out of the danger area. A bit short, scarring with that pass, and that's a free kick. Moradi deemed to have tripped up Shushkov. The Iranians can't believe it, because Shushkov was all over the place there. He'd conceded possession, and if that free kick hadn't gone Russia's way there, and he was out of goal and in all sorts of danger. The referee though was right on the spot, deemed it to be an infringement. Muradi again, he seems to have been at the centre of virtually everything this evening, doesn't he? So goalkeeper to goalkeeper. We've already had one goal from a goalkeeper this evening, Hamid Bezadpour. What can Shushkov do? Up against Peyman Hosseini. Drives it in. Oh, he's gone for power. Leaning back. Poor contact. And it's cleared the crossbar by quite some distance. Time ticking away for Russia. 7.5 minutes remaining. Reminder, finals coming up. Makarov's through. Yes, it's in! Romanov. Russia have pulled a goal back. Makarov picked up the loose ball. And an accurate cross. And Romanov, the captain of the Crystal side from St. Petersburg, slides that one home. Just wrong footing Hosseini as he was making his way back across goal. Romanov put the ball where Hosseini had just come from. 7 goals for Romanov in World Cup finals in Portugal a couple of years ago, Russia's top scorer in that tournament. And now he's on the mark here. It's actually Kirill Romanov's first goal in the Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup since 2014. Only his 6th in history of this competition. He's on the ball again now. What can he do with an overhead? It's blocked by Akbari. Muradi! Krasheninikov's kick was charged down and Muradi almost was able to take advantage. Well, you could almost have scripted this really, couldn't you, that these two sides, so little to choose between them. Krasheninikov looking to fashion the opportunity for a shot. Makarov. He's done so well to turn away from trouble. Krasheninikov with the tackle. Hosseini gratefully jumps on that one. Ahmadzadeh battling with Makarov. What's the referee given here? A foul against the Iranian captain. He can't believe the decision's gone his way. Hasn't gone his way, rather. He's also indicating he got a flailing arm in the face. Let's see if we can make out what's happened here. There. Bit of treatment for him, and he's making the point to the match official that perhaps that should have been noticed as well. Mikhail Likachev just making a point to Maxim Shushkov, suggesting a play to come maybe. And now it's Alexei Makarov taking centre stage, just a metre or so outside the Russian penalty area, so about 25 metres from Hosseini's goal. After Kaparotny having a word with him as well. Oh, they've gone short. We've seen one little set play from Russia work perfectly already this evening when Boris Nikonarov scored. And they looked for another one there, but it didn't quite come off. Skarin's throw was looking for Nikonorov, it didn't find him. Shushkov's options down the sand, he's looking round. He's found Paparotny on this near side. Skarin just showed too much of that to Muradi. Now Muradi's down, rubbing his left shin.
Okay, come on, super fans, Russia, make some noise.
No evidence of any contact there at all. Just wonder whether, and forgive me for being cynical, Varana just trying to take the momentum, take the sting out of the match at the moment, just not allow Russia to get ahead of steam. He'll have to go off Muradi. So whenever the medical assistant comes on to the sand, the player has to go off. Akbari replaces him. Skarin with the throw now. Goes towards the near post, he's actually thrown it into the goal, but he needed to touch somebody in order for that to end up counting. It didn't. Messigar. Messigar's taken too long. You get 4 seconds. And if you don't get the ball back in play within that time, then possession turns over. Shushkov with a shot. Headed away by Abdullahi. Just under 4.5 minutes remaining for Russia to get on level terms. Paparotny with a shot, it's off target. Messigar against Skarin. Oh, he's done really well, Moslem Messigar. Skarin responds with a good tackle. Shushkov bowled the ball out and wasn't picked up by Aksenov. Didn't have his wits about him. He was more concerned with being rotated off. Romanov improvising with his back heel. That's a foul. Krishanov. Perhaps it isn't, I heard a whistle there, but maybe our phantom whistler from the crowd has returned. Well done, Makarov, getting the ball away from Akbari. And Akbari then goes down, and after he I think sees the writing on the wall about the whistle going against him. He's got to be careful, Akbari. He's been booked. He was late again there. Needless to say, he's back up again now, having made a full recovery. And Russia have a free kick just about a metre inside their penalty area, so it's about 27-28 metres from goal. Central position. What can Makarov do here? We saw the little set play a short while ago looking to find Paparotny. I think this is probably going to be a shot. Indeed it is. Just wide though. I'll come back to a point I made a couple of days ago that overall I think the standard of free kicks hasn't necessarily been as high as at other times we've seen in this tournament over the years, particularly those from distance. In the past I can think of the likes of Madja of Portugal, Dejan Stankovic of Switzerland. Give them an opportunity around the halfway line or even beyond, and they'll punish you. Haven't seen too many. Oh, just over the top. Krishanov was in a good position and he should have hit the target. As opposed to Tina's free kick yesterday against Iran was an exception. It really was an unbelievable effort from inside his penalty area. Well done, Ahmedzadeh. He's now got some tissue paper stuffed up his nose, so that must have been as a result of pushing the face he got from Makarov. And now Makarov absolutely furious with Ahmedzadeh, and Makarov gets a yellow card. Ahmedzadeh gets a yellow card as well. Oh, it's all kicking off down below our commentary position. Paparotny, a shoving match with Romanov, and Akbari is involved. Abdullahi is involved. Abdullahi's blowing kisses at Paparotny. Marco Octavio's come onto the sand, along with his assistant, Abbas Hashempour, just to try and pour some oil on the troubled waters. Mikhail Likachev is down below us as well. There, some afters from Ahmedzadeh, just flicking out with his left foot into the throat of Shushkov. And I think that was a legacy of what happened with Makarov and Ahmedzadeh previously. I think Abdullahi's just been shown a yellow card as well. So I reckon 3 players were booked there. Makarov and Ahmedzadeh. And then in the end, Abdullahi for getting involved in the afters. So yellow cards being handed out like confetti there. Oh, and it's a dreadful free kick from Shushkov. But I think the Russians are saying there was some interference from Messigar. Yes, there was encroachment. You've got to form that line between the ball and the opposite corner flags, and if you're inside that line, then that's encroachment. So Messigar gets booked now. Just losing track about how many players have been booked. By my count, that's 5 Iranian players: Akbari, Muradi, Ahmedzadeh, Abdullahi and Messigar, who've all been booked, all of them in this third and final period. Shushkov and Makarov have also been booked, so 7 bookings. That's a wasted free kick from Paparotny. Messigar can't keep that in play. Makarov. Time running out for Russia. We're inside the last 2 minutes. Messigar up against Krasheninnikov. They're happy to waste time at the other end of the pitch. Iran, why wouldn't they be? Paparotny with a looping header. Romanov tried to get in the mix, but he was deemed to have fouled Mustafa Kayani. So that's going to be a free kick for Iran. The clock stopped and 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. Peyman Hosseini then will have a free kick inside his penalty area. What's he going to do here? Happy to put it over the crossbar to waste some time. Not going for the glory goal. Krasheninnikov finds Shushkov. Oh, Messigar's on his own. That's got to be a red card for Shushkov, surely. Yes, it has. But it's a second booking actually that's led to the red card, but surely that would have been a straight red, or it should have been a straight red anyway, because handling the ball outside the area and denying a goal scoring opportunity. So a fairly miserable evening for Shushkov comes to an end, handling the ball outside his area. And so Maxim Shushkov heads off. Fifth player to be sent off in this year's Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup, after Ahmed Mohamed Abdul Razak Mohamed, the coach of Egypt, Ellington Andrade and Bernardo Martins for Portugal, and Ramon Rea, the coach for Mexico. So after all that, there's been a changing goal for Russia with Maxim Rogovsky, an enforced replacement for Shushkov. 56 seconds remaining, and Mustafa Kayani with the opportunity to make it 4-2. And he takes it. That surely is victory for Iran now. He goes over and celebrates with the Iranian fans. And they've got one hand, more than one hand perhaps, on third place. First job for Rogovsky during this stay on the sand is to take the ball out from the back of the net. Very good finish indeed from Mustafa Kayani. It's his fourth goal of this year's Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup. Looks like the game's up for Russia here now. 50 seconds remaining. You can't say that there hasn't been much incident in this match. Amazing to think there wasn't a goal in the first period. They've made up for it since then, haven't they, these two sides? Romanov with the flick header, pushed over the top by Hosseini. If that had gone in, perhaps we'd have been heading for a grandstand finish. Romanov with the overhead. Abdullahi happy to put that one anywhere. And time ticking away. Makarov. And Iran absolutely delighted. They're third. They've overcome Russia, getting revenge for defeat in the group stages. And this wonderful rivalry, this spicy rivalry between these two teams continues. Joy for that man there, Marco Octavio. Frustration for the Russians, 3 times champions, but for the first time in the history of this competition, they finished outside the top 3. Russia's goals, Nikonarov and Romanov. They had Maxim Shushkov sent off. Iran missed a penalty. Goals for Bezadpur, their goalkeeper, Ahmedzadeh, Maradi and